Hey peeps, Pinkolol16 here, and another blooper of Starman3's the commentator of we're up to Super Mario 64, Blooper 44. This one, remember when I said in Blooper 43 that this was going to be the only blooper in the whole thing, the only video in this whole thing now, that didn't involve me in some point of the production? Contrary to before, this video literally wouldn't exist if I hadn't taken part in the development of it. 44, 2 4s, this video is about the 4th dimension. And Starman3 does not know how to do simple math in terms of how to change the addresses. So I had to do every single code that was in this video. Not just that. This whole video is just a bunch of meeting scenes because I nagged him to insert more characters into the video, which he had promised and was beginning to make all of his broken promises of at the time. Also, watch this sun effect, which makes it look like everything's just ungodly bright. Yes, I know it was summer. That doesn't mean everything was so ungodly bright. It looked like it was like turning into heaven. Oh yes, that's really done obvious with your saturated lightness of the entire world. He made this in July. I think shortly before Summer Generation. I know so because I think this was the beginning of July of that year that he did this. And I know so because I came home when the last preview was being shown to the whole group. He didn't bother to show the preview of the entire thing to me, even though I'd spent practically half the development on it with him, because I was out at a sleepover that particular weekend. And when I came back, I was literally at the tail end of when the preview had finished. Douchebag. I spend, like, days, hours converting color codes, which is like a lot of color codes. A color code converting takes like one couple seconds, but when I'm doing like it for hours, it's because he's spending time putting characters in, and then he's asking me, oh, do this code for like several hours on end, and I'm just sitting there doing it for him, and then he does all that. When he's finally completed, he doesn't even show me. Douchebag. Even he's like lighted up to degrees. It's kind of like if you put lightness in Photoshop up to like +5 and you start seeing everything turn white. That's literally what he's done with this whole thing. It doesn't look very pretty. Somebody Paracarry being a postman might want to actually say who it's from. Also, look at that timing. It fades before Paracarry starts fading. That's why you put a black fade over that kind of scene, because it just looks really done ugly because of it. You can kind of tell that Paracarry is a picture from that, and it really starts to show. Have you even opened the note yet? Yay! Now for the next character scene! I don't even need to say anything, it's just the next character scene. Yes, we were waiting for a very coincidental piece of mail to come. Why the hell would it be a bill? You guys haven't even discussed bills yet. Why aren't you guys in debt then? Nobody would have that amount of money being, you know, here. It's just the fact that you guys coincidentally managed to live here and you guys just coincidentally managed to just, you know, get games and stuff too. Of course he's joking. There wouldn't be any actual thing for this kind of logic to happen. Yes, I know it's the real world, but there's other real world things that are altered to fit logic. Why would there not be logic here? Oh yeah, that's right, because it's Starman3. Every one of these characters is instrumental. They only speak once. I don't need to say. Also, Captain's one is just Mario Star's color. That's fantastic. He couldn't even make it grey. Why would J-Bro know that? Also, this is really inaccurate because Matt had already revealed in his video series that he made that he was not a Shy Guy anymore. And he'd already had a color code to show by that point that this color code is incorrect. It's not the thing that you should be using anymore. Also, by the way, now it's finally fixed after how long? Look at how long it took for him to fix my color code after so long. And he couldn't even fix Matt's. Well, of course it's something special. There's no way it wouldn't be something special if you weren't putting us in a character scene for it. Because that's our only purpose in this whole thing. It's not getting intense until he opens it. Matt had already revealed in his series that he wasn't a Shy Guy and that he was like that he and another self had like split or something. I'd forgotten. I should go back and watch it. It was a really good series. And he never completed it because he lost motivation and, you know, nowadays Matt is really only talking about music and games. So, yeah. It's kind of sad. Why would we go really? He wasn't even talking about it back then at the time. That was beginning to the point where he was beginning to go off of it. Why would I go really at Matt anyway? He's the only one I was even interested in at the time aside from CD-ROM, but CD-ROM was hardly active at the time, so Matt was a little bit more active and thus he was more funnier since he was like talking all the time about that kind of stuff. Just talking with his humor. And not to mention he's the only one I still talk to today. And finally he opens it. For the anniversary. It had been a year since Into the Fourth Dimension had ended, so they wanted to celebrate that. Counter friend. That's funny because that kind of implies that he's not really a friend, even though he's really in actuality saying counterpart friend. Okay, that's really not a massive amount to read. I'm pretty sure even the slowest readers could probably have read that in its entirety by now. Also, anniversary is spelled incorrectly. We're gonna get another character scene! Yay! 2nd? No. Starman3, you don't understand. When it's something's anniversary, that's not how it works, Starman3. When something is up for a year, that means that it has been up for 1 year. That means that when something is up for a year, that does not mean that 2 years have passed. That means that it has happened once. That when it happened was the beginning of the thing. So it ended in July last year, and then it's July of the next year. That doesn't mean that 2 years passed in between that time. Only 1 period of time happened. So this is completely incorrect. Its 2nd year anniversary happened in 2015. Or like, no, 2014. Way after I was gone. That's Starman3, not Mario. What is a bad feeling about your counterpart? What are you having the feeling about? That's a problem he never explains. He didn't intend Enzo to say that in the scene. He just randomly inserted it, and he's not going to provide any context because we're all musical instruments. That's the kind of scene where you make Mario aim his head. Apparently Enzo and Enzo are supposedly rivals, but that's never really executed properly. Don't even think it is. To be honest, I wanted a video where we actually met my counterpart in a video. I was far too anxious myself to be using the 4th dimension until I actually had a proper use for it. It's because the visibility frames. I did a far better job there than you do in this entire video. Oh yes, you know, like stealing your role. I've already explained in Blooper 40 that Starman3 stole Luigi Fans' role when Into the 4th Dimension was being made, so he keeps saying this even though he was the one who stole Luigi Fans' role in the first place, so he's just egotistical about himself and is just going to bloat himself far higher than anyone is ever going to give him credit for. Why the hell would I say that? No, Starman3 won't, not us. He needs a very specific scene for them to be confused about it. Even though I'm new as well and apparently know everything, although to be fair, that was one of the first things I watched when I originally got involved in the whole Super Mario 64 thing. Into the 4th Dimension was the first Mario 54231 thing I watched. And to be honest, it was pretty good for the time. Why would CD-ROM know? Also, this is really bad text a really bad text combination. You don't put dark blue with dark purple. That's just really bad. Also, let me explain why he's here. Superstar, the actual person, wanted himself to appear in Starman3's video a long time ago, and asked Starman3 to promise that he would put him in a video. This is part of the people that he technically forgot. So later on, I had to remind him to put Superstar in the video since he didn't do it before. Oh yes, this whole video is an advertisement for Into the 4th Dimension. You might as well go watch it anyway. Also, yes, Starman3 can just randomly make the portal out of nowhere. It's a contrived plot device. We're not even going by DBD logistics or going around the long way. Nope. Force grab a portal. Not even the multi-dimensional road! Like, random portal! Also, Starman3 is pretty fun alone, even though we're all supposed to be with him. By the way, Starman3 never released this song, this version of the song that he did, so I put it up myself in a video that said he ignored you. He ignored me, telling him to put it up several times. He only put up one of the songs that he'd done for this video, and well, if you really wanted to listen to it, there's a version on my normal channel. Also, this is not going to be everybody. It's going to be like 5 or so people. And many more, because I couldn't be bothered to put them all in. Trust me, this video is just going to be meeting scenes and nothing else, and then a contrived plot device at the end. Yeah, that's what my work was given to. Meeting scenes and a boring piece of plot that randomly comes the hell out of nowhere. Mask fading! Do you not know what masks are? Masking is the little cookie cuts around the characters. Yeah. Also, Captain hardly paid attention at this point, so yeah, he's just here because he's here. Also, Forigi's glove here is gonna vanish in Captain's mask. It's hardly noticeable, but you know. Mask fades! How the hell would you know what Quario said? If it only took place for 2 seconds, give people a chance to read the scene! He can't balance his text events properly. He has a text event that goes on for way too darn long, then he has another one that goes for the shortest amount of time ever that you could swear it was one of those videos that you have to pause for. You already know what it is. Second newest being Moonworld. Moonworld was far worse than Into the Fourth Dimension, let me just say that now. Thank you, Captain. It's the only reason you're in the scene. Oh, no. Quario, it's not the first anniversary, it's the second apparently, according to Mario Star 92 from a script line a couple minutes ago. That's obviously sarcasm. What? How the hell does Farigi know about the joke? You're just stuffing memes in there just because you can. How the hell would Farigi know? Does the CD-ROM of this world do the exact same thing? I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen the exact same way. Okay, this is Starman3 talking to Starman3's sensible self. Somewhat sensible self, anyway. Because how the hell would they know about the absolutely nothing joke, even though, you know, this is the fourth dimension? This is what I mean about knowledge is spread across the dimensions. They know about things that happen in the other worlds anyway, even if, you know, they should have different jokes or something like that. They are still apparently the same people because they know about the same jokes. And technically in Starman3's world, everyone is exactly the same. No one has any other kind of and knowledge is just determined by the plot. If someone doesn't know something, that's because he doesn't want that person to know something. not because they actually don't know, it's because he doesn't want that person to know. Because otherwise, every single other person should be aware of what Starman3's doing. They're seeing it through his eyes, apparently, while Starman3's standing there staring at Koryo and Farigi. He's just thinking that everyone else is going to be seeing it through the exact same point of view as him. Really? Now, you brought your friends, then where the hell are they? By the way, Captain's just vanished. He's not going to be in the rest of the video, by the way. Party! Put that in quotes. It's meeting scenes. I swear. Also, the black fold. Oh, it's not even black, it's just transparent fold. Also, yeah, his color code was really stuffed up this time. I think he made it on the spot.
Forget about that day!
A lot of these color codes were made, like, on the spot. So, yeah, I'll tell you which ones were made on the spot. This is definitely getting to the meeting scenes now. They go first. I had to put CD-ROM in. I know I did. I also had to put his counterpart in as well. Starman3 did the sprites. But yeah. He randomly made this on the spot. By the way, this turquoise doesn't match with the turquoise on CD-ROM's actual color code, so it kind of just comes off weird. Yeah, he made it on the spot because he needed to put CD-ROM in the video. Also, they're just gonna suddenly appear because, hey, we're gonna be convenient! Yes, they apparently know their names. Also, everyone of the fourth dimensional counterparts is just gonna know their normal version counterparts' names, or rather the first dimension counterparts' names. They know their names. For some reason, even though, you know, they've never met before. It's, again, the hive mind. CD-ROM, don't bother asking. Starman3's like this. Well, that's done obvious because everyone else meets themselves. These are jokes because they're 4 versions of things, even though, well, the reality isn't real. But it's an opposite because the Star World. You can see why we're not really using the Star World, because the Star World has all the characters as the exact same color code. It's really hard to make jokes about it when everyone looks exactly the same. That's a really bad idea by Mario, to be honest. But we're talking about Starman3 here, so we mostly came up with these on the spot with the fourth dimension, so yeah. You're continuing the point. He's just saying he's a truthful Yoshi. Apparently, Starkey is supposed to be the one that hides stuff. Although Illis never really did that in the past, so the illusion was just a name, and yeah. Again, the both of them have pretty much moved on now. Illis Starkey, I think, is called Neon Raxler Blade or something now, and he does his own thing. CD-ROM, I don't know where the hell he's gone. He's off doing his own thing with Enzo and Pam, but a lot of them are just off on their own now. I don't think they hang around the same way they did back now anymore. Now as in this video. I don't know, you tell me, you're the one staring ahead. Okay, this is the one where I end up putting a scene. I had to give him my version of the color code for the 4th dimension, and yes, I had to give him... no, Starman3 didn't make this color code on the spot that you're about to see. I made this color code myself. Emulator lag! 30 frames per second! Or something like that. It's lag. Lag! I'm joking, but seriously, this is so bad. Starman3 told me about it. I watched the videos beforehand. There's no need to contrive an explanation when I already knew about what this stuff was beforehand. Which is kind of sad because he felt like he needed to put it in anyway, even though, like, I could have just said something like, I know stuff about this place already, because I've seen what the others have done. Not because Starman3 told me off screen. I did it myself. And that's the truth. I originally watched everything about the 4th dimension. Starman3's Into the 4th Dimension video, the 5000 special thing with all the 4th dimensional counterparts, Into the 4th dimension. I went nuts on my own. I did all of that on my own. And he decides to contrive an explanation out of nowhere? Yeah, I really don't like that. Oh yes, Crownux said this, even though I already knew it beforehand. I made this color code. Starman3 did not make this. I made this color code on my own, and I made it with the intention of being slightly different than what the other color codes were. You can see with Starman 4 that the color, and CD-ROM 4049, that the colors are reversed. That the colors are just put in different places. Like CD-ROM's hat and shirt is green. Therefore, his overalls are green in the 4th dimensional version. That was something I wanted to avoid. I wanted to make something different. So the colors are in the same spots, but they're lighter. And the green is meant to counteract the purple on the color code, because green and purple, green and magenta, to be honest, are actually opposites in computer logic. So I thought that might be good. The white on the shoes is a lighter version of the grey, but it has a blue tint to replicate the shininess of the 4th dimension. So you can tell I really my 4th counterpart thingy really blends in with the environment, because yeah, I kind of took a note for that. I'm really, really pleased with how I made that color code. It's only too bad that he ended up screwing up who it was. Well, yes, Crownux is the 5th dimensional guardian, whomever, whatever. He's the big guy of this place. So, of course he would tell you all. I was colloquially referring to Starman3 as my best friend back then. He really isn't, and never was. Of course Starman3 knows everything, because he's the only one who's ever been coming here. He is the only one that has ever had any meaning throughout this whole series, so of course he would know everything. Also, why the hell am I not staring at her? I should have the head aimed slightly diagonal. What the hell? which I watched. Which, yeah, what the hell was the explanation before then? I would be already aware that I had a 40 counterpart. I'd just be like, hey, I watched the others, they have 40 counterparts, I should have one as well. Exactly, that's the point of the color code. Can you see the comparisons? Purple to green, then all the other ones slightly lighter and more light focused to focus on the fact that this place is gold heaven. This place is very bright. To be bright means you fit. Also, I love Sonic Adventure as a game, so he put that in as an actual thing. It was around this period of time that he streamed himself playing Sonic Adventure DX on the stream to me, and I had to point out exactly where he had to go because he kept wandering to nowhere. I think it was when he had to go to Windy Valley in Sonic Story, and he kept wandering all over the Mystic Ruins because he could not follow directions properly. Like, I'm like, go right, go right, go right, go near where the crack in the wall is. He couldn't properly listen to me. I'm like, slow down, you obviously don't know where to go. Let me show you, I have played the game several times, and obviously he didn't listen. So, him knowing that, he placed it in there, in the video. And, you know, putting me in the middle of a rage fest. Emulator lag. Also, yeah, it is her favorite, therefore my favorite. Seeing favorite written like that for me, especially for me being Australian, where Australian English uses the U's in the favor color things, it's, oh my god, it's hard to take in. And you'll never see us again. By the way, I apparently have the same text color as her because because he's lazy. I'm lazy. Yeah, I'm totally lazy when it comes to stuff like this. That's Starman3's stuffing words in my mouth. Although I had to push him for some of that. Yes, which I'm gonna nag you about in this whole video. Enzo is associated with the fire, and Enzo is associated with water. So, haha, rivalries! Fire puts out water. Somehow, I don't think that's not how it's supposed to work. Water puts out fire, and fire is, hates water. I don't think that fire puts out water. That's not how it works. I mean, yeah, if there's maybe a big amount of fire, then sure, I guess, but that's not normally how it works. Yes, you are. You are scared of him because you were scared before, you're still scared now. By the way, flickering. Flickering. That's not Starman3's problem because he doesn't know how to tick a box. That's not really known by the public. Take a look at a Pokemon game. Fire is weak to water often enough. He's not really your arch enemy anymore. Cause yeah, Strawberry and them are pretty much friends now. Rainbow is gonna appear for this video only. He has a purple tinge, and he literally appears for this video only. I was gonna give him more of a chance, and I did so in Into the Fourth Dimension, but not Into the Fourth Dimension, the Costume Invincibility frames. Wow, I'm mixing up movies here. I did so in that, but he's stuffed up here. Of course, any character is. Even including myself, Enzo, Mario Star, and what's gonna happen later on with Bryn. Yes, that's a thing. Wow, you're fading in the most slowest way you can possibly imagine. Oh yes, Scatman, which you're so afraid of using because one person's opinion means the most in this whole community. And that guy's own videos don't even matter in the grand scheme of things. Also, yes, he'll just appear even though he took the slowest time in coming in. Well, yeah, they're kind of equal at the moment. And so you're the one who asked Trollbill in the first place and you ended up in a hospital because of it. How the hell is Rainbow gonna do? How the hell is Rainbow gonna fare if Trollbill could do so much? Also, yes, you can tell he just randomly put a purple tinge on everything dark. I'm pretty sure it was something like, oh yeah, I'm gonna change the hue or something. Trollbill originally hurt you and made you go into hospital, aka a room, when he eventually got hurt anyway. Plagiarism! You know, because Rainbow Trollolol is totally not a video of its own. I think it was back at the time when someone was making like a comment where they had a comment every single day for every time they came to the video. I think that's over now. But look who's plagiarizing. Of course he's already doing that with Trollbill, even though Trollbill in of himself wasn't the original creator, did not really care about it in the first place. Ghosts can still hear stuff. That's not Nintendo logic, especially since Nintendo didn't make a Trollboo. They made a Boo, not a Trollboo. Again, we're in the phase where they were calling every single Boo, no matter if they were a Trollboo or not, a Trollboo, no matter what. Also, Enzo's not even going to do anything, so ha 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 ha, he's totally getting affected by this even though he's standing in one place. Enzo has more movement than him in this scene. Oh yes, this really explains it when it's just Starman3 talking to himself. It's really the implication of what Starman3 thinks of Enzo and how Enzo should react in these situations, even though, you know, Enzo probably wouldn't really have that. I had a jokey rivalry in the same way in the custom invincibility frames, but it was handled a lot better, and I'll explain that when that happens. I will commentate over it eventually. I just wanna do something first. Well, no, duh! Obviously, there's no other reason why that scene would have taken place if they weren't rivals and they didn't mix together. Then why'd you put the scene in Starman3? And many more! And the portal was just left open.
What the? Bleach.
Okay. I'll explain. Bryn, back then, was a member of YTR. He played a lot of Mega Man and a lot of other types of games. Whenever a glitch would happen, he would go, Bleach, and it became a YTR meme. So, after it became a YTR meme, Starman3 wanted to put it in a video. So, he put it in the 4th dimensional video where Bryn ends up coming to the 4th dimension and lands himself in a window, and then says, Bleach, because it's a meme, and it was the biggest YTR meme of the time. Aside from absolutely nothing, but of course since Bryn came on every single day, it was kind of more prominent. So, yeah. The only problem is that Bryn doesn't actually meet his 4th dimensional counterpart properly here. Starman4 mentions the whole bill thing again, even though money doesn't seem to matter in this world. And Bryn, I'm going to tell you right now, never meets his fourth dimensional counterpart ever at all in this entire video. Everyone else gets their chance, but he didn't. When Starman3 said he was going to put him in the video, I assumed that he was also going to have him meet his fourth dimensional counterpart. But he never did. And he never did it. He never asked me to make any color code, and I was expecting for him to give me a color code to work with, but nope, no do. It's not even broken. The wall's still there. Look. The window's still intact. Also, where the hell's Starman4? Isn't he standing like right here? Yes, a window was so important when it's not even broken. J-Bro lost his original version of the fourth dimensional color code. This is one of the color codes I think I put in on my own. There was a thing going on where J-Bro had a story idea going on where he wanted to do something with a thing called the Legend Star. And he had like 5 stories in planning that he wanted to make of Super Mario 64, but all of them were cancelled. He never even started them on like how Mario Star put one of his videos up. But he didn't even have the motivation to start even one. Are you noticing a pattern here? How it seems that everyone had these plans, but they never really did anything with them? "2013 in of itself was a really barren year. It was only me and Starman3 and Mario with the occasional Moonwell part that was actually making videos. And this would slowly lead into the decline where YTR became pretty much a place of just screaming everywhere. Everyone was now depending on Starman3 to put them in the video because they hadn't had the motivation to make videos themselves. Then after a period of time, some of them started becoming more and more apathetic to Starman3's behavior. And then some of them never made videos after that. Like, I think this was the point in the group shortly before or during the point when Brandon, or Royal OMG, as he'll be referenced in videos at the time, was beginning to join the group. And he made a whole bunch of Super Mario 64 shorts that everyone found hilarious. At the time, he, me, Mario, and Starman3 were the only people making videos. Mario Star made that one video but then deleted it. J-Bro had plans. The others were mostly making like plans but not anything else. And it was actually kind of sad. So, the reason why I asked Starman3 to put so many people in was because no one else was doing it themselves. No one else had the motivation to even make these skits into better things than what Starman3 could even do himself. They relied on Brandon to do that, and I was making videos, sure, but they were sporadic. They weren't nearly as common as what I did with the Curse of the Invincibility frames. Also, J-Bro419 suddenly knows what the Legend Star is anyway, so what the hell? Starman3 logic. That's meant to say gulps, not glups. Turn that into a new meme, guys. This was shortly after we done Roblox Goes Crazy 26, who was still recoiling from the memes of that video. This is gonna take the shortest amount of time ever, also flickering. Also, welcome to how the freeze camera code sucks. I don't know, Ender and them vanished, and now suddenly J-Bro are just hugging each other on the left wall. Wow, that's some fun imagery for the J-Bros to be hugging themselves. You can guess what's happening. He obviously didn't plan them to say this in the scene. They wanted to talk about the Enzos, not the J-Bros on the left wall. Cause Starman3 and Starman4 really aren't paying attention, are they? They're not even staring in the right direction. You're not even staring in their direction! How are you supposed to know what they're doing? They are over here! You guys are staring straight ahead. Where the hell are you staring at? They're supposed to be over here! This was around the time J-Bro began to really hate Starman3 for some of the stuff he did. But then later on, it was just like, I don't really care anymore. I have no idea where else on the internet he is now. Enzo was really getting into his brain, wasn't he? Of course, after like 4 years, it would have ticked something. Fuji Fan's code was made on the spot. He didn't get the one from Mario. He got he made his own from the video that he'd already seen. And since he made it on the spot, he had to ask me to make the code work again. Yeah. Stare at each other! You could have cut the scene. Okay, yeah, okay. First of all, with the cutting of the scene, he could have watched out for that jump. Then he could have, put the text event where it ends, where the ending of the text event lines up with the start of the jump, so then there wasn't that staring scene in the middle of it. Secondly, why the hell does Luigi Fan have, orange hair while his counterpart has, black? Luigi Fan's color code was in the middle of a darn, problem at the time. We didn't know where it was. For some reason he'd lost it, and he needed to get another one that we needed to convert for the 4th dimensional version. Luigi Fan, at the time, had left a color code on his channel, but at the time, it was an older version. There were 3 versions of his color code. The version that you see here, the version with the same colors but with black hair, and then another version which you'll see in the future. We were using, at the time, the first one, which was the oldest one at the time, which wasn't relevant to the time period, so Starman3 was really mad about that, and just asked me to do it anyway, even though we had no idea where the color code was. And Luigi Fan wasn't willing to give it to us, nor was he willing to find the actual color code from the Super Mario 64 ROM and give it to me to convert. Lazy douchebag. In fact, I had that old version of the color code for a while, and I know that he had 2 separate versions because in the actual cheat list that Starman3 has, he had both. Along with, deleting everything else. That wasn't like a character that he used once. There were a lot of characters that he only used once that were still in his cheats list when I looked at it, but I'm pretty sure like most of them are gone now. what even was the trick? We can't even see it. Pretty sure that both of them would have differences. Okay, you can see Starman3 forces Mario to start looking, but I can't tell if he's on the ground or not. Okay, yes, he is on the ground, so that looking up would be meaningless. I converted this one too. Also, for some reason, the lighting on these got ridiculously screwed up. How many color codes was he using that ended up making all of this look extremely dark? I didn't convert it to look like that. He ended up putting, like, all of the normal Super Mario 64 color codes on before he turned the, fourth dimensional ones on, and now they look like they're in the middle of a cave or something. Even though they're not. That's Starman3's fault, not mine. I converted it correctly. I think he forgot what the meaning of Blooper 41 was. But, of course, why would he remember that? He didn't care. You can see how most of these are just meeting scenes. The characters have like a little bit of dialogue for one scene and then they have to move on. This was some of the planning that Starman3 did, but you'll come to a point where you'll know I nagged him for these ones because he hardly cared for them otherwise. Well, no duh. Aren't you counterparts? Mario Star would be aware of this anyway. He's been to this dimension multiple times. It's not like he's me, where I only came here the first time and heard rumors of it in-universe. No, he's actually been here. He's actually seen his counterpart. The 5K sub-special, the supposed I'm looking through a portal with the whole Starman3 visits the fourth dimension thing. He knows! And remember that Mario Star was the one who had all the logistics and all that stuff? He would be aware of it already. Mario and Luigi Dream Team mocked as a joke. Of course, it was coming out at the time. It was the first game that I got on the release date. Also, I converted this one, not these two, because he apparently stuffed them up again. Why do you turn the Super Mario 64 versions of the color codes on? They look like they don't have any shading on them whatsoever. What the hell is his problem? Also, this is a really bad text combination. My god, who the hell is expected to read that? You can't read it because it's so ungodly bright. Here's what it says. Farigi, : and also I have my awesome game called Farigi's Mansion Light Moon, which is a joke on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. But in terms of these color codes, he just kept turning the original Super Mario 64 versions of them on. Why do you do that? That is exactly what gives them the lighting that you see here. They look like they've lost all hints of shading because when you turn on the Super Mario 64 color code, you are writing to a different address you are writing values to a different address than what the fourth dimensional color code does. Essentially, you're writing to two different places, and color codes don't turn off once they have been written, unless something is going to write over that same value. So if, say, Mario's hat was red and then it changed to blue, then you have another color code that changes the overalls to red. The blue on the shirt is not going to change because nothing is changing it. Nothing is changing the blue on the shirt to be anything else, so it stays exactly the same way. It works the exact same way here. The shading that stuffs up the fourth dimensional color codes from the original one, so say if you turn on the Super Mario 64 color code here, and then you turn on the fourth dimensional one, nothing is changing the Super Mario 64 ones. Nothing is changing them. So therefore, they keep the shading, and they get the new colors, and then this comes in. Like this shading, and this kind of weird thing happening over here. It's absolutely disgusting. So yes, he actually does get a fourth dimensional counterpart, but he's not going to appear very often because these guys are only in the middle of a meeting scene. Again. He forgot? Wouldn't he have already been here? Yeah, of course you would know all about the multi-dimensional road. Your fractions of Starman3's mind, of course you'd know. He would have already existed anyway in the first place. Because the universe would break. By the way, I had to do Alberto. He gave me Alberto's color code when we were doing this, so that kind of helped. So yeah, that's how I have Alberto's color code, because I took part in the development of this. Yeah, this was all me. Pretty much. Pascal Mario's meeting his own fourth dimensional counterpart. I had to do both of them. Mask fades. I did both of these color codes. We have to keep referencing the fact that he's dead, even though he's completely solid and everyone can see him. I've already mentioned this like 15 times because nobody can understand at this point. Starman3 took a note from my book and ended up screwing everything up. You can see now that he wanted to do different things instead of just reversing the colors all the time. He took a note from me and ended up changing some other color codes in a similar way. I'm sorry, you didn't manage to replicate the coloring the exact same way, buddy. They don't actually do that. Yeah, this was by the point I was beginning to spam requests to him to do this. He forgot about both of these people, which is Cool Boy here and Matt here. He forgot about both of them, and I had to nag him to put them in. All of these color codes here are done by me. By the way, this is highly unfitting music for the scene. No, seriously, it's a meeting scene. This is way too energetic for what it's meant to be. You can see how quick the scene is because he just wants to get past it, because I had to nag him to put them in because I was telling him, hey, these people mean something too, put them in. But he obviously was too egotistical and only meant the people he did in the first 14 minutes, so therefore everyone else doesn't count. Why the hell do I have to do this? Why the hell do I have to sit through this? He contrived a plot device out of absolutely nowhere to make this scene. Delza was not here before, nor was he paying attention before, nor did he have any authority on this place. There's just so much wrong with this that it is so hard to explain. Why does Delza need to be here? Of course, he's supposed to be the one that was ruining the party, but he just comes out of nowhere. Why is he here? Of course he's here because the party's being annoying, but why would he be here? Not just that. There's a even worse portion. I'll talk about it in a second. You'll see it. one who lives in this dimension, by the way. Dementio is now a forbidden name. Dementio is the equivalent of Voldemort. Yeah, have you taken a look at the very bottom of that line? Knockout, YTR and 40R? Dowser literally, what he does is, he knocks out everybody. But he's one person. He's one person, one creature. Therefore, and there's several versions of us, including the first dimension and the fourth dimensional counterparts. So, because Starman3 can't be bothered to contrive a reason as to why the hell he should be the only one to not be knocked out, he knocks everyone. Mario Star, J-Bro, Enzo, me, Captain, who was there for like 2 seconds, Mario, Luigi, Alberto, everyone is knocked out. Every single person is knocked out because he only cares about himself saving the world. Yeah. It comes right the hell out of nowhere. And it almost feels like we just entered an entirely different story. Like it has no place here. Yeah, YTR and 40R, everyone is completely knocked out except, well, not Mario and Luigi, Alberto. Mario, Luigi, Alberto, Starman3 and their counterparts, which is, 8 people. By the way, it looks like nothing changed. Why is everyone knocked out? I don't know, where the hell are they? Everyone's gone, it's almost like it's a dream and Starman3 has no idea that everyone else is supposed to properly exist outside of like fragments for 2 seconds. Doesn't this sound, the whole thing, oddly dreamlike? Where everyone only appears for one period of time and then they go off, away, never to be seen again? This is the kind of stuff you'd expect from a dream, where your mind doesn't have the attention span to keep up with other people in a dream aside from yourself. It feels like Starman3 and all of the videos he makes have only like those dreamlike elements where the characters, everything they mention is just a one-shot affair. Where they don't really do anything. Like how they're not really steering towards J-Bro and how they suddenly know he's getting knocked out. How people suddenly know things from nowhere. Doesn't it seem oddly like everything in these videos acts like a dream in Starman3's head? I don't say that just because I don't say like Starman3's the center of the universe just because he's egotistical and cares about himself. The videos themselves show aspects of this. This whole video pretty much is the implication that Starman3 is pretty much dreaming all of this up. I mean, can't you notice? I mean, it's like that kind of thing where you're running around in a dream and you have the knowledge like everyone's gone or something, even though you can't really see anything and you're only just assuming because your mind's telling you so. I mean, it's not too uncredible a theory. Oh, I'm pretty sure Dowser screamed. I'm pretty sure you could hear who he was. Yeah, I don't know where everyone went. By the way, he ran around in a circle, and Dowser's standing right here. Winnie stood out the front. Couldn't he have seen him anyway? You're not even facing him! Starman3 is staring at your butt! Mario to gain up Mega D star power. What? Mario didn't even do anything throughout the entirety of like, the last scene since all the users had to have their attention. Also again, Dowser, you're not staring at Starman3. Starman3 is staring at your butt. Dowser was angry at Dimentio in the first place. Didn't he remember that? Starman3 hates the name Starboy, apparently. Even though, to be honest, Starboy 3 is really the only way that can explain some of the antics that happen in these videos. He may be 26, but he's still a child. You guys have been celebrating the past of the fourth dimension this whole time? Oh yes, he's totally the chosen one. You might as well say he's the chosen one of Starman3's brain. Oh my god. See, Starman3's putting himself as a credit for everything. Yeah, egotistical. He's not gonna do it here and now because they're not at the Bowser Arena. Well, duh, because you guys constantly say he has positive energy. He's supposed to be the center of the universe of this entire world. It's like I said before, isn't everything oddly like a dream? Oh yes, a tribute to the hero of the fourth dimension, like he didn't get enough screen time in 2012 already!
Hey, Starman, guess what?
Oh, apparently you're not knocked out because Mighty memes!
What?
Starman3. Why the hell aren't you knocked out?
Cat loves food, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cat loves food, yeah,
Masking! Let me point that.
yeah.
Masking! Totally fantastic! Why the hell isn't Starman3 asking why the hell CD-ROM isn't knocked out?
Cat loves food, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cat loves food, yeah, yeah.
CD-ROM!
What? It's just a song. You never heard it before?
It's not even relevant to this video! Why the hell did you even record that? Why did you even put it in? Remember when I said that everything feels oddly like a dream? That could have just been some random sporadic moment out of nowhere, and his mind could have forgotten, oh yeah, everyone's supposed to be knocked out. CD-ROM's now fainted on the ground for some reason. I mean, I don't understand why some people can't see these points when they're blatantly right in front of you. We're not going to fight here and now because we're not at the Bowser fight. Or the Bowser fight. Really? Where are they? I'm not even going to ask this question anymore. Summon 4's office. tell you something. There was a texture pack that Starman3 was supposedly given for this video to be used, which was supposed to be used in this particular area where Dowser took it over or something with lava. And but apparently Dementio is still here since his influence is still on the 4th dimensional road. If you're unaware of the story of Into the 4th Dimension, Dementio wanted to take over the 4th dimension by merging Dimension D, with the 4th dimension, so then he could take over the world. When he was merging Dimension D with the 4th dimension, the 4th dimension began to take on aspects of Dimension D, as in everything was turning green. And since Dementio's lair was up here, this area was the first area to be affected, but Dementio is gone now, which has been referenced several times in this video. So why the hell is this influence still here? It was all retconned at the very end of the video series. You can see the aspects of the texture pack with that castle and the tops. It was meant to be a lava-filled area. And that too. Some of it wasn't properly implemented into the actual video. Which just shows how lazy Starman3 is, since he couldn't bother to replace some of the textures himself. And he asked Mario to do this, and he did not put in the textures properly. I think the clouds were meant to be lava too. Like, everything was meant to look like Dowser had taken it over instead, but he didn't do it properly, so I have the proper texture pack, what it was meant to be, and he didn't do it properly. This whole area was meant to look like Dowser took over it. Dementio is gone. Really, also folds. You can see his computer's just having the most difficult time trying to render the world around him. No, it hasn't! Didn't you see the green and pink area you were running around in before? Over there at the wall? I don't think so. Also, if you notice, it's now Bowser instead of Dementio's face. Ha 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 ha. But why the hell is it still green then? That area must get really sensitive to Dementio, I guess. Yes, he bothered to retexture this, but not the previous area. Well, it wasn't really him that retextured it, it was Mario who did anyway. Gameplay footage! To artificially extend the length of the video just so we don't have to, you know, contrive something out of nowhere. No one's gonna watch my video if it isn't 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna put 2 minutes of gameplay footage in here with text every couple seconds. That'll work! No, seriously, doesn't the whole pacing, the whole story, doesn't this feel like this just randomly happened in one of Starman3's dreams? It's so sporadic, it's in the script. It's so sporadic, it's just so random. It's so biased towards himself too. And things just come the hell out of nowhere. Characters come, they vanish, they have contrived one-line quirks about each other. kind of stuff that you'd wake up in bed from, and you'd be like, that was the most absurd thing I'd ever seen. Mario made the texture pack for this, and I remember he made one for the 4th Pro too, but he didn't use half of it, clearly, since he didn't bother to get rid of half of the textures properly, even though he knows how to do that, since he got rid of the Mario HD textures and left everything else intact. So why the hell wasn't he able to remove the 4th dimensional textures then? Come on, there's not that many folders, and they're all easily named. By the way, Starman3's going to use a moon jump again. Although, to be fair, it's pretty warranted here because in the final level, to be worried about timing to this degree is just ridiculous. Like, you're meant to slide down and you're meant to jump to the area. That's not good level design. Timing is not meant to be dependent on how fast you go down a slide. Not everyone knows the physics of Super Mario 64. So therefore, you shouldn't be expecting your audience to just suddenly know how to jump to the other side of the place. He's trying to go up. Because mostly, you wouldn't even get the chance to run up these little things here that allow you to go back up. You wouldn't even get the chance. The camera, by the way, is really terrible, so you would probably be wandering off the edge anyway and leading yourself to a death. And even if you did go fast enough, you probably might not even go fast enough to reach the platform, so you'd probably most likely fall to your death, and you wouldn't even get the chance to walk up and have a second go. It's absolutely terrible level design. And I don't blame Starman3 for moon jumping here in the first place. You can tell he's very obviously at a loss. He cuts the footage because he's gone a different way now. Now that there, I don't blame him for that. The times he's used moon jump before were stupid times. Times where he could have obviously saved himself or something, or redone it. But Skillux created a really bad section there. And I'm not gonna lie when I say I've had to do that myself. I don't blame Starman3 for moon jumping here in the plot. I really don't, because Skillux's level design implies you apparently know every single aspect about Super Mario 64's physics and how they work. And for someone who wants to play a different version of Super Mario 64, that's not good level design. At all. Yep, he fell through. Yep, that's something he obviously could have redone. That's why I don't use that version of the moon jump, the one where you use it to interrupt an animation. I don't use it too often because if you use it too often, the camera won't be able to follow you and you'll just end up with like the camera being all the way below you and you won't be able to fix it. That's why I use two moon jump codes in conjunction with each other. The one he uses here and another one which functions on the jump button and heightens the jump, which allows the camera to follow you properly without the camera going absolutely insane. You can see how Starman3 is having difficulty here trying to keep the camera in one place. That's because he used the moon jump code where the camera has a problem following you. Okay, that was a really bad loop. Come on now. Come on, save stating would have been better than this. Better yet, skipping past the whole section. Maybe if we came here on its own and then had the beginning part where and it just faded and I'm like, woo, that was a long ride. And I probably wouldn't have been as mad because, you know, the whole thing. Because, you know, yeah, we wouldn't have had to sit through 2 minutes of this. Also, Starman3, come on, you can change the footage there again and have you walk if you really want to have this dramatic walking. That's the whole thing where you press the joystick repeatedly to make yourself walk. That's not how. Come on, that's not a dramatic walk. That's just you pressing the right the up arrow key repeatedly. Of course, he's playing on a keyboard. There's no way he wouldn't be. So yes, it's a recolored Bowser fight. So what? Bowser's Bowie now? Also, yeah. That's if the fire even landed on him anyway. Starman3 had to do this remix several times over. Remix, aka cover. You can see there's no health bar because Starman3 killed his health. Why wouldn't Cranux do anything about this? Well, nah, because they're counterparts. Starman3 thinks he's Mario. Come on, Quario's supposed to be the one who stops him in this world. But no, Starman3 thinks he needs to be the hero of everything. Yeah, he always defeated me better. Wow! I prefer being defeated. That's apparently what Bowser said, even though that's what he doesn't want. Enzo did not like anyone using the word God, damn it. But Enzo got really sensitive to it. And to be honest, it was almost to the point where it was getting ridiculous. I think Illis originally called him out for it at one point in the group. Calling him out for being as sensitive as he was, since most of the audience is not even going to particularly care. It's still fire, my god. Remember, spinning the Bowsers on a keyboard is ridiculously hard, and I can tell that Starman3 is playing this via keyboard, so yeah, it's really hard. It's not like a controller where you can rotate the thing. You have to actually have like a hand constantly pressing the keys. Wow, the textures have even started to fade. His computer's having such difficulty rendering this whole world. Oh, he's gonna replicate the spin joke that Mario did in his videos, only much worse because, you know, guess who we're talking about? Oh yes, you put it in a blur filter and sped it up. Yeah, that's totally spinning. Oh my god, it's just a blur filter and he sped it up. That's really not noteworthy. Also, they certainly like replicating that Wario sound clip from Mario Party 2, don't they? That was a common thing back then. Come on, couldn't you have timed it for that one where, you launched him into the bomb? No, he clearly couldn't have. He couldn't wait. Clearly. And everyone's just magically up. And the world's still flickering. Yet means you're counteracting the previous point. You're not really doing that, are you? What the hell was WA meant to mean? What, did you mean fourth wall? Yay, let's have the biggest character scene where like half the people in this video are completely forgotten. Yeah, I said something there, didn't I? You get the hint. Yay! He's giving himself more credit than he's worth. Oh, he'll come back eventually, but not in these videos. I think the black folds are ruining it more. By the way, let's just forget the fact that everyone was supposed to be knocked out just so he could have this screen time in the first place. You were knocked out! Why would you be tired? You were already unconscious! Repeating scenes! Remember when this scene played in the video? Nah, his reward is like 5 character scenes where everyone says the same line once and then they don't say anything again for the rest of time. It's like the small parts of his mind saying to him, yeah, you did it! Now eventually, hopefully, you'll wake up from this trauma. Where the hell is he? Quario was not planning to know if Starman3's was going to say anything, so why the hell is he saying ha? He would be moving his head around in confusion if that was the case. But no, repeating recordings! They're all gone, by the way. Oh yeah, another power that he's never going to use! I'm kidding. I'm not even kidding. He never uses it. They were talking about it at the time as a thing that they wanted to do, but they never, ever, 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 ever the history of the videos ever used it. And from his counterpart! He never uses it! Yay, I'll go back to Blooper Land, stuff it in the cupboard and then never use it again, and then I'll just make more dreamlike videos. And also he'll stuff everyone else in the cupboard as well. Another portal from nowhere. Also, it's going over the edge of the video footage. It's not gonna be darkness. Remember this from the first couple minutes? Yeah, that meant something. It still looks just as ugly now as it did back then. Yes, he's still typoed even back then. Yay, I don't matter. Yeah, he had to forcibly put that in the end because, yeah, apparently he only remembered that. And everything else meant nothing. I think he made the thing at the beginning, and, I'm not sure if he made the note, but I don't think he did. The note might have been made by him, I'm not really sure. But that's only like 2 instances in the entire video of themselves. Remember, everyone was knocked out! For no reason! How the hell would Dowser go around to every single person and just go punching them to death? That would take a long time with every single person. Dowser just released this gas, apparently. Yeah, if it were, yeah. Yeah, I had to nag you for half of those. Because you already forgot them on your own. This isn't the full cast, by the way. And he wouldn't typo that one, but he typoed the previous one. This is not the full cast, by the way. And remember the 4D counterparts? Yeah, they don't matter. They're not part of the cast. You still have a minute. What the hell are you... Right, it's this. They wanted to still do something with the booze, so they ended up putting more in.
Rainbow has your trolling skills.
Enzo really wanted to do something with this back then. It's almost like they didn't want to shut up about it back then.
Actually, it's for all.
No.
J-Bro is Rainbow. Enzo is Trollboo. And they're having a little mock fight even though they're just standing, well, floating in one place. Or for the both of them, at least.
Oh,
Also, the folds still threaten to take over the world.
it's troll.
For all.
Troll.
For all.
Troll. Shut up.
Why the hell aren't they doing anything?
He started it.
Shut up, Rainbow.
This was obviously done in a one-call session. What?
Illness.
Meanwhile, are they watching a recording or did he just misuse the word meanwhile again? By the way, when I came home, they were doing this part of the video when they were doing through the preview.
Yes.
Hi.
How long is it going to be to defrag my bloopers?
Oh, defragments, because Illis was talking about defragmenting his hard drive at one point during the development of this, and then Starman3's was like, hey, how long is it going to take to defragment my video? That's not how stuff like that works, you idiot.
See, that's the thing. Defragging takes too long. Can we take a look? You're not gonna like this at all. You ready?
Yeah.
500 hours!
Why the hell would it take that long? Unless he had really big video files. But of course, Fraps creates really big video files, so yeah.
What? No!
Everyone had to record a no at the very end, even though, well, that was them during the preview, and I came home during the very end of that. And he didn't even say anything about it all. My only contribution was the whole color code thing. Everyone's still going, oh, like demented sheep during the explosion. Everyone died. Yeah, everyone was just totally dead during the whole thing. Yay! By the way, who the hell is supposed to be the noob? I have no idea. Probably Starman3 in his stupid voice.
Get him!
Ah, shit.
Oh yeah, credit to him, which you hardly used, by the way. See you all, have a good day, peace, and I'll see you in the 11k sub special, so see you then.